You know that friend who always cancels plans? The one who's sick again, tired again, maybe next time? Yeah, that friend isn't avoiding you. They're protecting something. If you're someone who genuinely gets more excited about a Friday night in pajamas than a Friday night out, welcome. You're about to feel very seen. Today, we're breaking down the psychology of people who love staying at home. The ones society calls boring, but science calls something else entirely. Here's the thing. Extroverts recharge by being around people. Their energy comes from the noise, the movement, the chaos. But introverts, and people who prefer solitude, they recharge in stillness. Every social interaction, even a fun one, slowly drains their battery. And home is the only charger that actually works. Psychologists call this optimal stimulation theory, originally developed by researcher Marvin Zuckerman. Some people have a naturally higher threshold for stimulation and seek it out. Others are already running close to that threshold and actively avoid adding more. It's not laziness or fear. It's just how their nervous system is calibrated. Research also links this to the neurotransmitter dopamine. Introverts tend to be more sensitive to dopamine, meaning smaller doses of stimulation feel rewarding enough. But there's more going on than just introversion. Some people love staying home because their environment gives them a sense of control they don't get anywhere else. Out there, the world is unpredictable. Loud strangers, last-minute changes, small talk with people who don't care about your answer. But at home, you control the lighting, the noise, the vibe. For people with anxiety or sensory processing sensitivity, a trait researchers like Elaine Aron have studied extensively, affecting roughly 15 to 20% of the population, that control isn't a luxury. It's survival.
Here's something worth knowing. Studies published in journals like Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin show that people who are comfortable with solitude tend to score higher in self-awareness, emotional regulation, and creative thinking. Importantly, researchers distinguish between solitude chosen freely and loneliness imposed by circumstance. The first is associated with well-being, the second with harm. Staying home isn't doing nothing. It's where the best ideas often take shape, not in a crowded bar, but in a quiet corner with a book or a thought spiral at 2 a.m. And let's be honest, society romanticizes being out there. The influencers, the party pics, the live your best life culture. But what if your best life is a documentary, some soup, and zero obligations? That's not sad. That's self-awareness backed by research. Psychologist Esther Buchholz argued that humans have a genuine developmental need for aloneness, not just as recovery, but as a space where the self is built and rebuilt.
Now, some people stay home for a darker reason. Social anxiety, past trauma, depression that quietly whispers, "What's the point?" And for them, home becomes both a refuge and a cage. The clinical distinction matters. Avoidance driven by fear maintains anxiety over time, according to cognitive behavioral research, while chosen solitude actually reduces it. So it's worth asking yourself honestly, do you stay home because it fills you up, or because leaving feels too heavy? Because one is peace, the other is hiding. But for those who truly love staying home, they're not missing out. They're just living differently. They find joy in small rituals, the morning coffee routine, the favorite spot on the couch, the way the light hits the room at sunset, things most people rush past. Psychologists call this savoring, a well-studied positive psychology concept linked to greater life satisfaction and lower rates of depression.
These people don't need the world to entertain them. Their inner world is rich enough. Research by psychologist Jonathan Cheek even identifies different types of introversion: social, thinking, anxious, and restrained. Meaning not all home lovers are the same. Some are deep thinkers. Some are sensory sensitive. Some are simply quietly content. So if you're someone who turns down invitations without guilt, who feels genuinely happy on a solo Saturday, who'd rather rewatch your comfort show than make forced memories, you're not broken. You're wired for depth over noise, for peace over performance.